The Harvey Weinstein Exposé: Power, Abuse, and the Fall of a Mogul. Ever wondered how one man could go from being a Hollywood titan to a symbol of systemic abuse? Harvey Weinstein was once one of the most powerful figures in the film industry, producing iconic films and dominating award seasons. But behind the glamour and accolades was a dark secret, a decades-long pattern of harassment, manipulation, and abuse that would eventually bring his empire crashing down. From the explosive exposés to the rise of the #MeToo movement, Weinstein's story isn't just about one man. It's about power, accountability, and a cultural reckoning that shook the world. Join us as we uncover the rise and fall of Harvey Weinstein. The rise of Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein's career began in the 1970s when he co-founded Miramax Films with his brother Bob. Named after their parents, Miriam and Max, the company specialized in distributing independent films. By the 1990s, Miramax had become a powerhouse, releasing movies that defined an era. Films like The English Patient, Good Will Hunting, and Chicago didn't just win awards. They redefined the way Hollywood viewed independent cinema. Weinstein wasn't just a producer, he was a gatekeeper. If you wanted your movie to succeed, you wanted Weinstein in your corner. His influence extended beyond the film industry. He was a political donor, a philanthropist, and a constant presence at high-profile events. But as his power grew, so did the whispers. Abuse behind the curtain. For years, rumors about Weinstein's behavior circulated in Hollywood. Female employees, actresses, and industry insiders spoke of closed-door meetings that left them traumatized. It was a pattern. Weinstein would invite women to his hotel room or office under the guise of professional discussions. What happened next was anything but professional. Many described unwanted advances, coercion, and threats to their careers if they didn't comply. Weinstein wielded his power ruthlessly. Careers were made or broken at his whim, and for those who dared to speak out, the cost was often too high to bear. The bombshell article. Everything changed in October 2017. The New York Times published an investigative article that exposed decades of allegations against Weinstein. Actresses like Ashley Judd and Rose McGowan, along with several former employees, went on record to describe the harassment and abuse they had endured. The article was followed by another exposé in The New Yorker, which included even more disturbing accounts, including allegations of rape. Weinstein's once untouchable empire began to crumble. The revelations didn't just take down a powerful man. They ignited a global conversation, the birth of #MeToo. Although the #MeToo movement had been founded years earlier by activist Tarana Burke, it was Weinstein's case that propelled it into the mainstream. Suddenly, survivors everywhere began sharing their stories on social media, using the #MeToo. From Hollywood to corporate offices, from college campuses to small towns, the movement exposed the pervasive nature of sexual harassment and assault. Weinstein became the face of a much larger problem, a culture that protected powerful men while silencing their victims. The enablers. Harvey Weinstein didn't operate alone. Over the years, there were countless people, agents, executives, and even friends, who knew about his behavior but chose to stay silent. For many, the rationale was simple. Weinstein was too powerful. Challenging him could end a career, close doors, or even lead to personal attacks. This web of complicity shielded Weinstein, allowing him to continue his predatory behavior for decades. The enablers were not just individuals. They were part of a system that prioritized profit over people, success over ethics. The trial and conviction. In 2020, Weinstein finally faced justice in a New York courtroom. The trial was a watershed moment, with survivors bravely sharing their experiences in front of the world. The verdict was clear: guilty of rape and sexual assault. Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison, a moment of accountability that sent a message far beyond Hollywood's long-standing problems. Weinstein's case exposed more than just his personal abuses. It revealed a culture in Hollywood that allowed such behavior to flourish. For decades, the entertainment industry had been plagued by unchecked power dynamics, where those at the top often exploited those below them. Actresses, crew members, and assistants described experiences of harassment, intimidation, and blacklisting. The Weinstein case forced Hollywood to confront its toxic culture and begin the process of reform. The cultural shift. The #MeToo movements sparked by Weinstein's downfall marked a turning point in how society views sexual harassment and abuse. Conversations about consent, workplace safety, and accountability gained momentum, leading to tangible changes. Corporations introduced stricter policies, industries pledged reforms, and public awareness grew. Survivors found their voices amplified, and their stories became catalysts for change. Global impact of #MeToo. While Weinstein's case began in Hollywood, its impact was felt worldwide. The #MeToo movement extended far beyond the film industry, reaching sectors like tech, politics, sports, and education. From India's Bollywood to Europe's corporate offices, survivors spoke out, challenging powerful figures in their respective industries. The movement reminded the world that abuse of power is not confined to one country or one profession. It's a universal issue. Believing and supporting survivors. One of the most significant lessons from Weinstein's case is the importance of believing survivors. For decades, victims were dismissed, blamed, or silenced, creating an environment where abusers thrived. Weinstein's fall showed that when survivors are heard and supported, justice becomes possible. It also highlighted the need for continued advocacy, education, and systemic change to ensure safer environments for everyone. The role of investigative journalism. Weinstein's downfall wouldn't have been possible without the tireless work of investigative journalists. Reporters at the New York Times and the New Yorker, including Jodi Kantor, Megan Twohey, and Ronan Farrow, spent months gathering evidence, interviewing survivors, and verifying their accounts. These journalists faced immense pressure, including attempts by Weinstein to discredit them and block the stories from being published. Their work not only exposed Weinstein, but also highlighted the crucial role journalism plays in holding the powerful accountable. Attempts to silence survivors. One of the most chilling aspects of Weinstein's case was the extent to which he went to silence his victims. Non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, were often used to prevent survivors from speaking out, locking them into legal silence. Weinstein also employed private investigators and intelligence firms to dig up dirt on his accusers, creating an atmosphere of fear and intimidation. These tactics underscored the lengths to which abusers of power will go to maintain their dominance, and why systemic change is necessary. Impact on awards shows. Weinstein's fall sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, even affecting awards shows like the Oscars. Once a dominant force at these events, Weinstein's absence was palpable. More significantly, awards shows became platforms for activism. From powerful acceptance speeches to performers wearing black in solidarity with survivors, Hollywood began using its spotlight to address issues of abuse and inequality. This shift marked a significant cultural change. An industry once known for silence was now attempting to lead the charge for accountability and reform. Hollywood's responsibility moving forward. The Weinstein case forced Hollywood to reckon with its systemic failures, but the responsibility doesn't end with him. Studios, production companies, and unions must continue to implement measures to protect workers, foster safe environments, and hold abusers accountable. This includes creating transparent reporting systems, addressing pay disparities, and promoting diverse voices in leadership roles. Hollywood has a unique platform to influence culture, and how it handles this responsibility will set a precedent for industries worldwide. Thanks for tuning in. Harvey Weinstein's downfall has reshaped Hollywood, but the fight against abuse and for accountability is far from over. Will the industry truly transform, or will the old systems persist? Only time will tell. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.